Hey everyone, welcome back to the Female Farrier. In this video, I'm working on a horse that is once again quite a bit overdue. Her hooves are pretty long right now, so doing a nipper run pretty much all the way around the hoof because there's a lot of hoof wall to remove. And this video is taken during the summer. You can see all the green in the background. So the hooves are growing exceptionally fast this time of year in northwest Arkansas anyway. So now I'm going to come back around and do a vertical nip around the toe because that horse's breakover has been pushed pretty far forward. And one of the problems we have with her is that when her toe gets long, it pulls her heels forward and makes them underrun, and you can sort of see from this angle, but some of the soft tissue in her heels is a little bit displaced. It's pushed back a little bit too far out the back side of the hoof capsule. So just a few things that we're trying to fix and improve on this horse's hooves and try to make her a little bit more comfortable. Got a visitor back there, sweet little donkey. Just opening up those heels a little bit, opening up that frog, and then I'm going to work on this hoof from the top. Now I've got this hoof forward on the stand. You can see all my vertical nipper marks. So one of the first things I'm going to do is smooth those all out with my rasp, make it all smooth. And you can see that this horse receives pretty good nutrition. No significant flaring or dishing or rings in the hoof wall. So just smoothing everything out before I move on to trimming the next front hoof. So now I'm working on this horse's right front hoof, picking out any dirt and manure that's trapped in those collateral grooves before I start using my tools. So like the other front foot, this one's pretty overgrown and the toe is stretched forward. So that's the first thing I'm going to address with my nippers, is I'm going to try to remove as much excess growth as possible. And you can see these front hooves are on the shallow side, like they don't have much concavity. So I also want to be mindful not to remove too much height from the bottom because I also don't want to make this horse sore. And she has had a history of being sore in the past. So I'm assuming that she may have a thin sole. So I just want to be thinking about those things while I'm removing the hoof wall. Try to find that balance between bringing the toe back far enough but not making the horse sore. So I'm smoothing everything out, making sure that hoof is balanced medial-laterally. I'm going to start my bevel from the bottom and kind of make sure any high points are removed. And oftentimes the bars will be high, and you'll need to come take those down after you've nipped the wall off like that. Just removing some frog, and then I'm going to finish this hoof from the top side. So just like the other front hoof, you can see that this horse's hoof wall connection is pretty tight. There aren't a lot of growth rings. There's not hardly any dishing and flaring. So I'm basically just finishing my bevel from the top side before I move on to working on this horse's hind feet. Pretty straightforward trim other than the long toes. Now I'm working on this horse's right hind, and for some reason, I don't think I got footage of me trimming the left hind. I don't know why. I know it was a hot day, and I was trimming quite a few horses that day, but there is no footage of the left hind from the bottom. So this will be the most we get to see of the underside of this horse's hind hooves. Kind of similar to the front hooves. You can see that the toe is long. And this is something to take note of. I don't know if I actually do in this video, but you can see that left hind leg. See how the horse is leaning to try to avoid opening up the joints in that right hind. So she's very stiff and she's leaning to try to support the pressure. So like if this horse pulled its hoof away, it would not really be fair to get mad at it. Best thing I could do would be to lower my stand and bring that hoof closer to that left hind leg, and that would kind of relieve some of the stress on that horse trying to hold its leg up for me. Otherwise, the trim on the bottom of this hoof is very similar to the front's. Bringing that toe back, checking the medial-lateral balance, cleaning up those bars, cleaning up that frog, smoothing everything out, making sure there's no high points where the bars meet the hoof wall. But yeah, pretty straightforward, clean trimming. Gonna finish this hoof from the top in just a second, and you'll see it's pretty smooth and nice looking as well from the other angle. Now I've got that hoof forward, and you can see this kind of has typical quarter horse hind feet. There's a little bit of flare on the outside, and the inside of the hoof wall is straighter and taller. So just being mindful of that when I'm smoothing things out. I'll put a little bit heavier bevel on the lateral side because I know it's flaring a little bit on that side as well. But other than that, just finishing my bevel, not really changing the balance. So this is the only footage I have of the horse's left hind, but it's actually kind of a cool angle because you can see that lateral flare pretty good from this side. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.